on the cabinets and countertop. So let me show you what we're gonna do. Come on! Alrighty guys, I don't know about you, but I'm really excited because we're doing the cabinets and countertop. All along here up to the mini fridge, which as you can see I brought down because I like to eat. Also, we're gonna be putting in a stove right there and then a sink right here. So I'm gonna have a full kitchen, baby. We're gonna be doing some cooking. All right, the first thing we gotta do is, as you can see, let me go down here so you can all get a good look. The feet of the fridge are on the hardwood flooring, and we don't want that. We want it to be level. So I'm gonna have to take a router and router out part of the hardwood floor so the feet can sit level. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. Here we go! Alrighty guys, we got her! And as you can see, that worked perfect. Check it out. All level and good. So now, the fridge will open just fine without getting caught on the hardwood. That's exactly what we want. So now, what we're gonna do is, I've noticed, now it's all level and everything, got a little bit of extra space back there. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and run the conduit pipe back the rest of the way over there so it's just one solid piece rather than having that little wire loom dangling there with the wires. And then next we're going to start on the countertop part, but we're going to build off the fridge and over. So that's next. Here we go. Hey guys, we're back. Okay, today what we're gonna do is cut out the plywood for the sides of the fridge. So in order to do that, we're gonna have to cut out a template. In order to cut out a template, we're gonna need cardboard. And then our good friend, Mr. Scribe. So I'm gonna scribe this out, and it's really easy to do. You just put one end against the wall, and you just go straight down against the cardboard. And that'll give you kind of the angle you need. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Here we go! Okay guys, now that we got our template, we're going to go ahead and trace it out and then cut it out. Here we go! Okay, the template made it fit pretty close, but as with anything, when you're transitioning from cardboard to plywood, you're going to have to tweak it a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and tweak it out, and then it should fit perfect. So here we go. Alrighty guys, as you can see, she fits perfectly. Now, something else you might notice is there's a little bit of excess this way. The reason I did that, and the reason you should do that, is because when you're scribing out, you want to make sure you have enough room to cut and it goes in and fits perfect. So we're going to go ahead and cut off this excess now, and then we've got one completed section. Here we go. Alrighty guys, as you can see, we got her all set and we got our first piece done. So next up, we're going to do the other side. Here we go. Hey guys, okay, the goal for today is get the top piece of plywood cut out for the fridge. And then we're going to take all the pieces and polyurethane them. Here we go! guys, now that we got the patterns all cut out, all polyurethane and all pretty, what we're gonna do is lock down the fridge. How are we gonna do that, you ask? We're gonna build a frame all the way around it, like a big box. So we're gonna take some 1x1s or 2x2s, either work, and we're gonna go ahead and put them right against here, screw them to the plywood and to the floor, and also to the wall. And then we're gonna come up here and build kind of a box frame right over top. So we're gonna have like a little bit extra up here, and then take it all the way across, and make a box. So that's gonna hold her in place. So here's a time lapse of me doing that, baby. Woo! Guys, now that we've got the mini fridge in place, what we're going to do is start on the cabinets and countertop. Now, as you can see, I brought down a propane tank and a water tank. That's because the sink's going to go here, and then the stove is going to go here. So, what we got to do first is determine the height of the countertop. In order to do that, I brought down a couple of things. Let's see if I can grab them. There we go. So, I want to make sure to judge the depth of the sink. So that's going to help us determine how low we can go. So, and this is just my soap dispenser too, so that's also going to help. So, kind of roughly, yeah, right around there, ish. So, just kind of give us a rough guesstimate. So, here's a quick time lapse of me getting everything measured, and then we're going to build this cabinet and countertop. Here we go! Alrighty guys, now that we got the framework all made, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sand it and then polyurethane it, because since it's near the water, we want to make sure it's really watertight. So we're going to go ahead and put a couple coats of polyurethane on them. Here we go! Alright guys, while we wait for those to dry, what we're going to do is work on securing the propane tank. Now, the first part of this is what we're going to do is we're going to get like a little square piece of plywood, and then we're going to cut a hole in the bottom of it to fit the propane tank. So that's what we're going to do right now. Here we go! pieces of the countertop in the van. Also, we're going to be using something that I built yesterday that's going to make stuff look freaking awesome. Here we go! Guys, now that we got this piece all cut out, it's time to have some fun with science!
Warning, do not have fun with science.
Aww.
Just kidding, have fun with science.
Yippee! Okay guys, this is what's called a Lichtenberg device. What it does is shoots electricity through wood to make really cool designs. So, one thing about this is, it's extremely dangerous, so don't do it unless you have some kind of electrical experience and someone with you. Now, the way we do this is, wood is not that naturally very conductive. So, what we're going to do is spray it with a solution that I've made. It is baking soda and water. So, basically a little salty so the current can go through it. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Okay, now that we've let it soak for just a little bit, we're going to go ahead and wipe off the excess water. And now the fun begins! Okay, what we're gonna do is set up our contact points at different areas first. I'm gonna try that out. Here we go! Alrighty guys, now that we've scienced her up, we gotta clean her out. So we're gonna take a scrub brush and get all the char out, and then she'll be good to go and polyurethane. Here we go! Alrighty guys, I just washed out all the char and here's what she looks like. Pretty freaking cool looking! Oh yeah! So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and let it dry for a little bit, probably about a day, and then we're gonna go ahead and stain it and polyurethane it. So that's next! Here we go! Hey guys, okay, today what we're gonna do is we're gonna install that propane piece that we cut out, and then we're gonna go ahead and install this other framework piece, and then we're gonna scribe out some plywood to fit over it. So that's what we're doing today. Here we go! Neither rain nor snow nor dead of night will stop me from completing my van! Yeah! Hey guys! We're finally gonna be able to put this piece on today! Yippee! We're also gonna be doing some really cool stuff with the framework of the countertop. We're gonna be making shelves out of stuff that isn't normally shelves. So, let's get to it! Yay! Okay guys, now we're going to be starting on the shelves that aren't supposed to be shelves, but are going to be shelves. Here's what we're going to do. Alright, see this is the framework for the countertop and cabinets, right? Well, I figured, why would I close off this area on both sides when there's some room in there? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a piece, right like here, and kind of do like right around here or something like that. So that way I can store like soap or whatever right there. So we got a little bit extra storage space. And then I'm going to take another piece right up on the bottom side, and same thing, just kind of make another shelf like right here. So we got 2 extra little shelves in there that we can just store like bottles or cleaning supplies or whatever we need. So that's what we're going to do next. Here we go! Okay guys, slight little miscalculation, but no biggie because we'll be able to fix it. So, I'm just kind of squaring everything up before I put that piece in. Well, went ahead and put some of the 3x4 plywood in here. And you can kind of tell it's like a little bit off there. So, let's bring it over, kind of straightens it up, but then we got a gap right where that thing is. Again, this is where OCD comes into play, because that bothers me. Because that's normally not really a big deal, but yeah, I'm trying to take advantage of all the space I can. So, what we gotta do is redo that piece. Now, something about that piece that you may not know, because it hasn't been shown in the video, is that's actually not the very first piece I did. That is the 3rd piece. So, I'm gonna do it one more time, making it the 4th piece. I do not like that piece. But we're gonna go ahead and do it so we can get it right. So we gotta redo that. And if you guys notice on the top here, I actually kind of cut off just about 3/16 because we're trying to keep it as level as possible, and like the van, you know, just kind of like changes as we go down it, not to mention where we're parked. Luckily we're parked pretty flat. But you want to get it as close to level as you possibly can, which is very hard to do because of how the floor changes like within the van and just a lot of stuff. But so took off that, and that got it pretty level. And yeah, so next what we're gonna do is sand this down. We're gonna go ahead and polyurethane the top again because now it doesn't have any polyurethane on it. And then what we're gonna do is polyurethane those other pieces for the shelves that go up in here. And tomorrow what we'll do is we'll go ahead and install those, install this, recut that piece out again. And yeah, so that's the plan. And then we'll probably, what we're gonna do, I've been thinking about like where I'm gonna be putting the pump. Well, I think we're gonna just put like another piece of plywood like kind of right up in here and attach the pump directly to right here. So we'll have to cut that piece out too once we get this piece installed. So that's kind of what we're gonna be doing next. Here we go! Alrighty guys, let me show you what we did so far. Okay, so we got the framework of the countertop all built out. Now you guys saw the speed run of me doing all that, but let me take you through like everything that we did. So basically we built these square pieces right here. Those are for the supports. That's what we did first. And then we built these little frames to go over them. Now, the reason I did these ones on both sides of this section is because this is where the propane tank is going to go. This section is going to be airtight because we don't want the propane leaking into the van. I'm also going to be drilling a hole through the bottom of the floor here, so because propane is heavier than air, so it'll just, if it, on the off chance it does leak, it'll just go out through the bottom of the van. So we just want to make sure that's extra safe. Over here, you guys can see I built some shelves here, so a little bit of storage for like soap or whatever I need up here. Over here, I put a little frame here because the pump for the sink is going to go right here. And then over here, this is where the stove is going to be at in this section right here. Again, also built a couple more shelves, you can see, just for storage and whatnot. I may eventually, I might even do like a center piece going up in between, so I might be able to do like a couple more cabinets and stuff, but that's down the road here in a bit. So next up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on this nice piece of maple slab. This is gonna be the countertop itself. So what we gotta do is we gotta trim it to the size of the countertop, that, the framework that I just made. And then what we're gonna do is like really sand it down super smooth. This side's already pretty smooth, but this side is not. And the reason we wanna make sure we get it as smooth as possible is so it can be as level as possible. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do some epoxying to kind of keep her watertight, and we're gonna do some kind of cool effects here a little bit. So that's next. Here we go! Okay guys, now that we've got the wood all smooth, what we're going to do is build some forms that we can pour the epoxy in with the wood, so we can fill in all the gaps and everything. This is what we're using, it's called melamine board. So we're going to go ahead and cut this out and build some forms. Here we go! Alright guys, now that we got the box all built, what we're going to do is cover it in paste wax. This is so it won't, like the epoxy won't stick to the boards. So we'll just be able to break it apart and then we'll be all good to go. So that's what we're going to do next. Here we go! Okay guys, now that we got the thing all waxed, what we're gonna do is take some silicone along the edges just to make sure that it's not gonna like come out of the cracks and everything and leak out. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Here we go. Okay guys, since we let the silicone dry overnight, we're gonna go ahead and peel off the excess, and then that'll give us a nice clean area to work with. So here we go. Okay guys, now we got the forms all built, we're gonna go ahead and continue to prep the wood. Now the wood itself is just fine because we sanded it all and now it looks great and it's super smooth. However, I wanted it to be just a little bit darker so it'll match the van. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pre-stain and stain it and give it overnight to dry and everything. And then we're going to epoxy, baby! Woo! We're finally going to start the epoxy. Now, what we're going to do for the first step is do a seal coat. We're actually going to do a couple of them. Reason is because with a wood slab this big, air can come out of it and cause bubbles in the big pore of the epoxy. So we don't want that, so we're going to go ahead and seal it up with a small layer of epoxy. So we're going to do about 3 layers on the sides and the top. The bottom I'm actually going to just pour into the form and then we're going to clamp it down, so the bottom layer is going to be taken care of in the form. So we're going to do the top and the side layers to start. Here we go. Hey guys, okay, what we're going to do first is we're going to do the bottom layer. This is to get the rest of the seal coat on the bottom of the wood slab. So I've already mixed up a batch here, so we're just going to go and coat the bottom of here and then we're going to clamp it down so it'll just adhere to it, seal everything up, and then we're good to go for our next few pours. So here we go. Guys, we let this fully cure and now we're going to do the part where I really hope I waxed enough. We're going to take apart the forms and see how she turned out. Here we go! Alrighty guys, as you can see, she came apart beautifully and looks great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take her up to the van and then cut her to size, because when I built the form I added a little bit just to be on the safe side so we can form it to how we want and make sure it fits the framework. So we're going to take this up and we're going to do that now. Here we go! Okay guys, now that we got this in the van, you can see that the countertop is a little bit long. And I did that for a very specific reason. You can always go a little bit longer, but you can't go shorter. So we wanted to make sure we had the length so we'd be able to cut and fit it exactly how we wanted it and we wouldn't end up short. So what we got to do first is we're going to scribe out this area around this lip right here to get it fit against the side, and then we're going to cut out the other end so we can get it fully fit and it's going to be all good to go. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to scribe it out cut it to form, and then cut the other end. And then, hopefully, we'll be good to go. Here we go! We got her in here, and she looks pretty. So, in the next episode, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut some holes in her. Oh no! What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut a hole for the sink right here, and the stove right here. And then we're gonna go ahead and finish the cabinets up, putting the faceplate on and the doors. So, that's next. Hope you all join me for the next episode. Be sure to like and subscribe somewhere down in here. And hit that little bell so every time I get a new video, you guys can see what I'm doing. So, see y'all next time. Rock on! Woo!